Hello and welcome to part number 4. Part number 4 on get your first pinball machine. So we've already talked about what kind of pinball machine you want to get. We talked about the look of the play field, the look of the cabinet, if there is anything faded. We talked about the translight or the back glass. Everything seems to be fine. But we still don't know if the pinball machine works. So you should always get the chance to turn the pinball machine on before you buy it. So I'm going to demonstrate this on a Bally Williams game. This is a dot matrix display, and yeah, the menu, the service menu is going to vary a little bit from Stern games or Sega games. They are different. So I can only show you this on the Bally Williams game because I don't have any Sega or Stern games. But you will get the idea of what I'm talking about. So first of all, if you turn on the pinball machine and there is something wrong with the pinball machine, you will get a note on the display, a warning or something like this. So turning on the pinball machine is already the first step to check out if everything works fine. So let's turn the pinball machine on and see if we have any problems or not. It works. No. See, that's the kind of message that you get when there is something wrong with the pinball machine. Again, everything looks nice, everything seems to work, but it tells us there is a problem. So it said press enter to get to the service menu and get the report. So where is this enter button? So right here we have the coin door. We open the coin door and there are a few buttons. So sometimes you can't really read it, but that's the enter button right here. Sometimes it's only 3 buttons and it's right here. You have to check it out, but sometimes you can read it. So we press enter and it gives us the test report. So we should check switch F6, upper right flipper, check switch F8, upper left flipper button. And those are the problems that he has. So what are those buttons? So the thing is, you don't really have a problem every time. So even if he's giving you a report, it doesn't mean that the pinball machine is really broken, because sometimes he starts to report contacts or switches just because you haven't been using them a lot when you are in gameplay. For example, this Demolition Man. If you are always just going for lock freeze and you ignore all the other missions and you don't start them, he starts to think maybe those contacts for those 4 other missions are broken, and he starts to report them even if they aren't really broken. And the same problem we have right now. So he told us upper right flipper button and upper left flipper button. So what are those buttons? This is the standard flipper button, and that's the upper right flipper button. So if you don't play with this flipper button, if you play with those standard flipper buttons all the time, again he starts to recognize that those buttons haven't been used in a long time. So he starts to think maybe they are broken, and that's why he's telling you that you have to check them out. So don't be afraid. It doesn't mean that there's always something broken. So press start to get some help. So where do we have the start button? Press start for help. So here we have help, and he tells you what to do. See, So by start button he meant this button, so it's not in here, it's the start button. So yeah. So those machines are basically really helpful. So now he told us F6 and F8, I think that's what it was. So we press enter, then we use those other buttons to go to tests. Switch edge. Yeah, so now you can use this stuff to also check out all the other switches on the play field as well. So everything where there is a switch like this, if it recognizes it and if you hear the sound, you can see what kind of a switch. So this is a way how you can check out if all the switches are working, at least the ones that are on the play field. So there's something and there's another one. So that's a way how you can check out all the switches that are on the play field anywhere. Also the EOS, those are important. So he told us that this one is broken. It works. He told us this one is broken. It works too. So that's not so much of a problem, isn't it? We can check out switches. So what else do we have? Selenium. Man, that's a hard word. So what's this? It's testing basically all the functions on the playfield, like slingshot, flippers, ball eject, and bumpers, and anything like this. So you can go to repeat, or we can go running, so it starts to run through everything. But we realize it's trying to do that, but nothing happens. Why isn't anything happening? Is it broken? Do we have a problem? No, we don't. Because there is this little switch right here. That switch is really important, because if you close the door, there's this thing that pushes that thing. So this thing, when the coin door is open, it turns off all the strong electricity underneath the playfield. So this is the kind of electricity that is required to use, you know, those solenoid, whatever it's called. I would call it coils. Yeah, but like the flippers or the bumpers or everything like this, ball eject, all those things are turned off when the coin door is open, because this switch isn't been pushed. Same goes for the flash. Yeah, I can only record 10 minutes. Yeah, same thing goes for the flashers. If this coin door is open, you can start a flasher test, but nothing will happen. Believe me, this is really, really embarrassing. It happened to me too. You know, I was playing, everything worked, I was going to the test menu just to test something, and nothing happened. No flasher, no flipper fingers, nothing worked in the test menu, but it worked when I was playing. So I asked a few people on the internet, and they told me this stuff is really normal. It doesn't work when the coin door is open. So every time you're testing flashers or anything like this, you need to close the coin door. I tell you, you really start to feel like a complete idiot. That's why I'm telling you this stuff right now. So Solidian test, and we're going to go running, so it starts to go, and we're going to close the coin door. And you will hear it starts to test everything, and yeah, that's really loud. So stop that. We can go to the flasher test. Again, close the coin door. Now there's just this one flasher going. We can search through, but then you have to close the coin door every single time. So that's why we go to running. So this way it tests all the flashers in a row. Seems to work. It also tests the flashers in the back box too, and it shows you which flasher it is, so in case one flasher doesn't react, you already see it. So that's that. I don't even know what that means. We can also test sound and music. Yeah, we can test single lamps, you know, like in this case, and in this case. So that's also something really helpful. We can test all the lamps. Again, if a lamp doesn't work, not so much of a problem. Lamps and flashers. And here's another important thing, the display test, especially on dot matrix pinball machines. So we go to the display test and it starts to run a display test, and my battery is about to die. So that's what a display test looks like. So we have to check out if there are any broken dots or anything. Yeah, it looks nice, doesn't it? I think you've never seen something like this before. I mean, if you don't own a pinball machine, I think. So, yeah, those are just a few of the basics. And RAM test OK, and it starts again. So, yeah, claw test. Here we can test the claw. So that's it. We're already at 15 minutes. I can only post 15 minutes videos. So see you next time in part number 5. See you.